What's up guys, my name is Blake Moore, welcome to More Finance, and in this video what I'm going to be doing for you guys is going through the #1 app that every delivery driver or rideshare driver should be using at this point, because so many people, I'm not even kidding you, I have endless amounts of comments that continue to ask me what app I use to track my miles. And this app is the same one that I think all delivery drivers and rideshare drivers should be using. So that app would be Gridwise. And this app is amazing. It does so many things to help me out on my day-to-day dashing and Uber Eats and Grubhub and whatever I choose to do for that day. So in this video, we're going to be dissecting that app, showing you how it can best benefit you as an independent contractor in this gig work business that we're all in. So if you guys wouldn't mind just hitting that like button for me and also hitting that subscribe button if you want to be entered into the giveaway that I'm doing for my subscribers for the month of July, where I donate 20% of all the money I make from YouTube for the month. And also, if you want to help me donate 10 cents per subscriber to the National Alliance on Mental Illness, then hit that subscribe button as well. And if you want to be a part of either one of those, just make sure you don't miss out on this opportunity. And let's get right into this video. So because I've been having so many people ask me what app I use to track my miles, then I decided that this needed to be an entire video so I could show you how it best benefits me. And a big shout out to Gridwise for actually sponsoring this video. So to start off, I'm going to take you through, we're going to go into the app and I'm going to show you all the features that it has, because it has some really great ones that literally can help you out in tremendous ways. So we're going to go into my phone right here. So what you're going to want to do is download the app, and it's actually completely free. There are some features that are limited to the free users, and it's only $9.99 per month to upgrade to the Plus version, which in my opinion is well worth it to pay that $9.99 a month. So if you just have the free version, you're going to open the app and it's going to show you this screen once you've created an account, put in your information and all that good stuff. So this week for me, I've made $137.19. It shows I've done 19 trips. I've driven 77.4 miles and I've worked 5.7 hours. Now this app is perfect for anyone who's multi-apping out there, because it combines every app that you're using on one platform and shows you how much money you're making, the miles you drive for all three, and just the amount of hours that you're working. So it's really good in that way. In my last video, I explained that it's kind of hard to figure out the amount of hours you're working as a multi-app driver. And so this makes it really easy for you. You literally, anytime that you're tracking your miles, that's when it counts as you're working, and it's going to track the hours you're working as it shows right here. I've worked 5.7 miles for the week so far. So pretty cool. And the biggest feature that I wanted to go into was this one right here. If we scroll down, it's the when to drive feature. Now this feature determines the most optimal times to drive for your gig services by showing you relevant stats across each day of the week. So let's go into it right now. You click on it and there are many different features when it comes to this part of the app. As you can see at the bottom, it shows earnings per hour, and then you can switch between earnings per hour, trips per hour, or earnings per trip. So we're going to just focus on the earnings per hour right now. That's my favorite one to use. That is a part of the Plus membership version. So I'll go into the trips per hour, which is the free version, but I wanted to go into the earnings per hour one first because it's my favorite one to use, because it shows you which day of the week you're actually going to be making the most money. So we're going to stay on the earnings per hour, and then you can switch between food and rideshare. I stay on the food because that's what I do. I do DoorDash, Grubhub, Uber Eats, some Instacart, but not really. I don't even have Uber or Lyft, so I don't really use the rideshare feature, but many of you probably do, so you could use that feature as well. And then you can choose between last week, last 4 weeks, and last 12 weeks. As you guys can see, the last week is the one that's going to be available for those free users. If you want to upgrade to the Plus, then you can see the last 4 weeks and last 12 weeks. My favorite to use is the last 12 weeks because it shows you a wider range of data. Because it's over the past about 3 months, then you can get a sense of where your time is being best spent. So then you can also choose between what shift you're doing: morning, afternoon, evening, and night. which I think is really cool because some people can't go all day or they can only do certain hours of the day because they work other jobs. And so this feature would be really great for you if you're looking at which time you can best maximize the amount of profit you can make when you go out. So the free version, you can just see the all day. If you upgrade to that plus version, then you can see each individual shift. So we're gonna stay on all day, and as you guys can see, that Monday, the average is $15.81. Now keep in mind that this is all day. This is all 24 hours of the day. So obviously it's accounting for those super late nights from like 2 to 5 in the morning where you get absolutely no orders, maybe 1 or 2 here and there. And it's also factoring in the slow time. So yeah, you might see, oh, $15.81 on a Monday. That's pretty bad. But if you think about it, it makes sense. If you were to go all 24 hours, that's probably what you would average. In fact, that is the average. And so that's why I like the different individual shifts, because you can go in and see like morning time. Okay, morning time is above the daily average. Perfect. Or you can go in and see evening. Oh, look at that, even higher, $21.25 for the evening shift on a Monday. That makes sense. And then you can do even the night. Of course, it's going to dip a little bit, but as you guys can see, the night on like a Friday and Saturday and Sunday, extra busy because it's the weekend. So it's just cool, the different things you can try out, the different shifts you can see, and see where your time is going to be best spent when you're actually going out to deliver, because a lot of people out there only have a select few hours a day that they can go out. So this is a really helpful feature when it comes to that. So there are a bunch of other features with this app. Those are the two that I like the most and that I focus on the most when it comes to this app. I mostly just like it because it tracks my earnings over all 3 platforms, shows me the amount of hours I'm working, and most of all, it shows the amount of miles I'm driving. So we're gonna get into that next, and I wanted to show you guys how this whole thing works, and we're actually gonna go out and do a little maybe hour or 2 shift, and I'm going to show you how the mileage tracking actually works. So pretty cool stuff. The when to drive is a new feature, and it has really helped me out to maximize the times that I'm going out to work, because like I said, a lot of us have a very select few hours that we can actually go out and do gig work. So really helpful when it comes to that. Now let's go see how this mileage tracking works. All right guys, so we are in the car right now, about to get going on our dash for the day. And as you guys can see right here is where you click to start tracking your mileage. So I always do that right before I start my shift while I'm getting in my car to start going. And that way it can track every single mile that I drive. We just started our dash and we got Grubhub and Uber Eats going as well. We're gonna go for probably only about an hour or an hour and a half, and I'll see how much I can make, and then I'll come back and show you a little more about the app. Let's go. Well guys, we just finished our shift and we're going to go into the Gridwise app. As you can see, we went an hour and 11 minutes, drove 24.4 miles, and you just click that and it's going to pop this up. You click stop tracking and boom, gives you your breakdown right there. So 24.4 miles, that means we can deduct $13.66 for our mileage tax deduction. And then it shows you down there 1.2 hours. You can see the exact time that you went. You just click done. And then it usually takes a little while for your earnings to be calculated in the Gridwise app, but it doesn't take too long and it's not that big of a deal, so I wouldn't worry about it. Now we're going to go back to my apartment and I'm going to break down how much money I made for you guys just in this little 1 hour shift that I just barely did, and then go over a couple more features on the Gridwise app. So let's get going. Well guys, we're back and we made some pretty great money, to be honest with you. So from DoorDash, we ended up making $5.25. From Grubhub, we made $14.85. And Uber Eats, the tip hasn't been factored in yet, but if it's a full tip, then we made $16.53 from that one order that we did from Uber Eats, which brings our total for the 1 hour and 10 minutes that we went to $36.63. Now I'm going to take you back to my office, and we're going to show you how Gridwise helps you break down this income that you make with its tax deduction and the mileage tracking that it does for you. So let's go up to my office and break that down. All right, guys, so I just wanted to break down a little further how I use Gridwise in my day-to-day life, because this is really the big part of where Gridwise comes in for me, is when I calculate all my finances. So as you guys know, I went over my totals already, and hourly we made $30.53. So the miles we drove, you guys saw 24.4 miles. The dollar per mile ratio was $1.25 per mile, which is decent, not the best, but not terrible, so not too mad about that. And as you guys saw, Gridwise gave me that tax deduction, which was $13.66. So I used that to calculate the total that I have to pay on taxes, which, because of the deduction, I only have to pay taxes on $22.97. And taxes owed, I take out 30% now. I just raised it from the 20% I was taking out, but I figured out that I'm actually going to be making more money than I thought for this year probably, so I'm going to start taking out 30%, and 30% of that $22.97 is $6.89, and then my total after taxes was $29.74. The gas expense, since we only drove 24 miles, was $3.12, so my total after all expenses was $26.62, and my hourly was $22.18 after those expenses were taken out. So that's the number one way Gridwise helps me out. And also with that when to drive feature, it shows me the best times that I can make the most money during the day and which day of the week I'm going to be making the most profit. So just to close out this video, I wanted to go into just some of the last little features of Gridwise. So we're going to go in right here, and we're going to do the when to drive. We're going to do trips per hour for food, and it shows you how many trips you can expect to get per hour. And this, I'm assuming, is just if you're single apping, not if you're multi-apping. So if you go to, like, okay, I'm going to go and do the evening shift tonight. Okay, today is a Wednesday, so I can expect to get about 2 trips per hour if I'm only using one app. But if you go to Sunday, you can expect 3. And so you can imagine, if you're multi-apping, how many trips you can actually do in that amount of time, because this is just doing 1. If you think about that times 3, then that's how many trips in theory you could do. I mean, obviously there's different variables, but it's just cool to show you. That's the free feature of this app, so I wanted to go into that and show you guys that. But it's really cool. Like, as you guys can see, it's calculating from last week. And one last thing about this when to drive feature is you can actually compare yourself to the nation. So I'm in Salt Lake City right now, so that's where these stats are based off of. But you can actually compare it and go nationwide and see just how many trips per hour that the whole nation is averaging. So that's pretty cool in my opinion. As you guys can see, my area is actually higher than the national average. So that's pretty cool. You can kind of see where your area stacks up against the national average. I think that's a really cool feature as well. And just so you guys know, the when to drive feature is powered by crowdsourced data. So unfortunately, some of the data might not always be there and may be unavailable due to an insufficient sample size. And the reason that is just to ensure a high level of accuracy when they're giving you these statistics. They don't want it to be based off of like 1 or 2 people. That's not going to give you accurate data. So some may be unavailable due to that reason, but for the most part, I haven't really seen that. Some on the rideshare side, just because I think less people do rideshare. But the food delivery that I've gone through, I have yet to see any unavailable data. So that's pretty cool. And there we have it, guys. That is the Gridwise app in a nutshell. Those are the main things that I use it for. And it really helps me every single day. I'm not kidding you. I literally use it every single day. It helps you with your finances, helps you track your mileage, helps keep all your data organized and in one platform, which I love because, as you guys know, I multi-app all the time. So it is really beneficial and has honestly made my life a whole lot easier. And no, I'm not just saying that because they're sponsoring this video. For all of you guys who have been asking me in the comments section what app I use, you know that before I was sponsored and able to do this video, I was still telling you guys Gridwise. That's the app I've been using, and I was just fortunate enough to have Gridwise sponsor this video. So with that said, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Hopefully you got some great information out of it. Hopefully you start using this app, and hopefully it helps you in your day-to-day dashing and whatever other gig work you decide to do. And if you enjoyed this video in any way or got any information from it, make sure you hit that like button for me, and also hit that subscribe button if you want to be entered into that giveaway that I was talking about at the beginning of this video. And also if you want to help me donate that 10 cents per subscriber to the National Alliance on Mental Illness, I'm doing that as well for the month of July. So if you want to be a part of either one of those, make sure you subscribe. And as you guys know, you're the best subscribers in the entire world. And I will see you guys next time.